Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And today I have with me one of these diamonds in the rough. His name is Craig Jones. He's a defensive back out of Peru State. Nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, how you doing?
Doing well. For people that don't know, Peru State is actually in the US, man. I mean, that's it's in Nebraska somewhere. So I mean, not a lot of people know about that school, but some decent guys coming out of that program recently, quite honestly. So Craig, why don't you start us off here? Walk me through your journey, tell me where you're from, and we'll just kind of work through things here.
Yes, how you doing? Yes, as he said, and my name is Craig Jones. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Grew up here all my life. I went to West Catholic High School, in West Philadelphia. And I recently after like just graduating from West Catholic in 2016, I went to JUCO, which is in Los Angeles Valley College. And I graduated, did about 2 years there and graduated. Then I went to Peru State. And that's pretty much kind of like, the beginning of it.
Interesting. So you kind of been all over the map. West Philadelphia, born and raised. I had to say that. I'm sorry. You probably get that a lot. But yeah, and then obviously go all the way out to the West Coast. To get your opportunity in JUCO, and then getting there to Peru State, kind of in the middle of the country. So um, lots of different stops here. So let's start at the first one. Actually, before you even get to college, and talk about your time there at West Catholic. You as a high school athlete, talk to me about that. So, did you play any other positions or any other sports during that time?
So yes, I just played for the moment. I played football my whole life. I did play a couple basketball when I was younger, but throughout West Catholic, just football, and I was a receiver. I wasn't always a defensive back. I would mention I have in school record there. I actually hold the school record for the most receiving yards in a season, and also in the one game.
Interesting. So, you were a receiver there. What are those numbers, by the way? Let's throw those out there if you remember them.
So for the season, I caught 35 passes for 949 yards, which is not bad, and for the game record, I had 900. I'm at 393 all-purpose yards, which included 5 touchdowns in one game, and 6 catches for 91 yards, and I also kicked the field goals as well.
Crazy. So it's like you're playing Madden out there, and it was you. So neat. Like you said, man, you were a wide receiver for the longest of time. And obviously I had introduced you as a defensive back. How did that shift happen?
It's pretty much the needs of what the coaches need me to go out there and play. So, it's like I said, they needed, like I said, I got from West Catholic and went to JUCO. They needed defensive backs. They were pretty stacked with the receiver core. And, they needed me to play defensive back, and I was ready to, play.
Well, hey, sometimes when recruiting goes on, I mean, they'll recruit like a lot of one particular position, and then they'll just figure it out like whenever you get there. I mean, they take guys, that are receivers, put them at safety, corner, running back. Hell, I've seen some of those guys actually end up being edge rushers. So I mean, it gets wild depending on your development. But uh anyhow, you took your skill set to uh California, right? So to that JUCO out there. So a lot of guys that I've talked to about JUCO, there is a grind, man. Talk about that grind of JUCO, and really how you came out of it. Let's just kind of get that.
I would say I was pretty much blessed to have two parents that loved me, and I had a great support system as far as coaching. like I said, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, everyone, you know. So the grind, I mean, like I said, it was about, I would say we went down there as a, as a group type of thing, as far as Philadelphia, athletes. It was about six of us. And, we decided to, go out, continue our football journey and chase our dreams. So we decided to get like a little house or an apartment, I would say. And I'll tell you, it was about, we had to pretty much, the cost of living out in California is wild.
Yeah.
It's really wild. So we pretty much, like I said, we got an apartment and we took like six of us and we pretty much, went split the rent down the, not, I wouldn't say down the middle, but in sixes pretty much. So it was a lot of people in one house. And I was blessed to have my mom and dad send me money to pay for stuff like that and pretty much not worry about too much food.
Well, that's great. Thank you, mom and dad, for taking care of me. So, anyhow, so yeah, you get there. Maybe not the best living circumstances. You got people living on top of one another. And trying to make ends meet. But really, what I was trying to get at, man, is you go the JUCO route, and a lot of times there, like, it tests your will and it tests whether or not you truly love this game. And so I got to ask that question to you. What is it that you love most about the game of football?
I would say just going out there and having fun. Like I think I pretty much think about it when I was a little kid. So I pretty much grew up with a football in my hand, watching my older cousin play and continue on the journey of playing football. And it's just having fun with my teammates, just going out there and giving back as well too. Like my cousins look up to me and I can't let them down pretty much, and I can't stop. So that's why, I pretty much strive and keep going with this.
So, growing up there in Philly, as a kid, who'd you really like as an athlete, man? I mean, just kind of overall, who was your favorite athlete growing up?
Growing up, oh man, there's so many, but I'm going to pinpoint it and say my cousin was my favorite athlete. But as far as NFL players, I'll say, like I said, I grew up watching, McNabb, Sean Jackson, those guys. But I really like Deuce Staley. That was one of my favorite.
Deuce
That was
Staley,
one
a
of my
very respectable guy, man. I mean, he's done a lot of great things. I didn't know where you were going to go with that, quite honestly, man, because I mean, as a guy who used to play receiver, I thought you'd be hitting me with like TO or something.
No, Deuce Staley, I would say he was the reason why I chose them. Like pretty much I grew up, my favorite number is number 22, Deuce Deuce. They grew up calling me Deuce Deuce sometimes because of the number. And I kind of shifted over to number 24. And it just trickles down to like, colleges and numbers and stuff like that. But long story short, 22 is my favorite number and he was my favorite player. And yeah, that's how it really went.
Yeah. So nothing wrong with that. Again, very respectable guy, very respectable player and coach.
Yeah,
So,
he is the running back coach.
yeah, he's doing pretty well for himself. So, anyhow, you were at Los Angeles Valley College, and then you found your way to Peru State.
Yeah.
So, how did that happen?
So my brother Tamir Oliver, he played at University of Illinois as a defensive end, D tackle, I would say. And he was pretty much we were on the same journey. We were trying to pretty much make the NFL, but he got hit with the COVID thing too, and I think it was called a spring league at the time. And one of the coaches had a job somewhere, and he mentioned my name, and I got a call from them, and they said we would love to have you as a player. Um, and they called me, and I pretty much took a chance, a leap of faith and chance and to play with them.
And that's that essentially. So,
Yeah.
cool. So you get out there at Peru State, And again, like we had mentioned before, I mean, when you got there, in JUCO, you made that transition from receiver to defensive back, and then I mean, I'm assuming that obviously carried over to Peru State. So, let's talk about you as a defensive back. I mean, give me some sense of your experience level there in that secondary.
So I played, I don't know, I played cornerback in, high school and stuff like that, but it was mano y mano. So just, our best versus your best. So I guess the JUCO level, like I said, was blessed to have a great coaching staff there. So they kind of taught me the game. You can't make every play. You really got to pretty much play your position. And then it trickled on to, Peru State, where I had the honor to be coached by William Fields. He's a defensive backs coach. He coached a little bit. He played in Houston, not the Houston Texans, but the University of Houston. He also coached at the pro level. So his biggest thing was do your job, and everything will take care of itself. So I tried to pretty much not make every play, but I have a neck to be around the ball, so I tried to make every play.
Gotcha. But I also know that you've done some safety as well, right?
Yes, a little bit of safety. Pretty much when I got to like I said, I had the privilege of being coached by William Fields again, that 1 year, which is 2021. And then I had a new coach come in, and he needed me to play safety for one game or game or two, because we had young guys there, and I needed to pretty much teach them exactly how it was done. And I'm a bigger guy as well, so I like to come down and hit some.
Right, right. So, how do you see yourself transitioning to the professional level? I mean, do you see yourself as an outside corner, maybe as a nickel, maybe throwing back there as a safety again? I mean, what do you think?
What I think is, I can play any position you need me to play. Special teams, you need me to do anything, I'll do it. But I would love to play the safety and the cornerback position, more so the cornerback, because that's what I, pretty much played throughout my college career. But like I said, if you need me to play safety, I'll do that as well, and special teams as well.
Sure. You mentioned their special teams. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, that's where a lot of rookies get their first shot, their first chance. So, what's your mentality towards special teams? Give me some sense there.
So pretty much, one thing my mom and coaches always stressed to me: you can't teach effort. So my effort was tell me everything. Just run and be smart about it, and try to see if you can make a play on the ball. Um, Let it be, punt. I mean, gunner on the punt, kick return, anything.
So, there's a part of me that feels like, maybe one of the things that you truly bring to the table is, really a little bit of everything, man. I mean, given the fact that you had all that experience growing up as a wide receiver, you're able to really see inside the mind of that guy. And then also, playing a little bit there at different spots in the secondary, uh, gives you a bit of advantage, man. I mean, so I kind of want to pose that to you, though. I mean, what do you feel is like your best attribute as a prospect?
As a prospect, I would say my strength and my knowledge of being in the right spot, knowing when knowing what everyone's doing. Being it's like I'm being that coach for them on the field. While doing my job at the same time. Just pretty much identifying route combinations and formations, personnels, anything, and put myself in a coach's mindset to know exactly what he wants to do to the defense.
Gotcha. So, um, obviously you were there for, at Peru State for a couple seasons. But I'm sure that you were part of a lot of great moments, a lot of great memories. Share one of those with me if you don't mind. I mean, give me maybe your best highlight.
So I'm not gonna really pretty much highlight myself, but it's all about the team. I'm a real team guy, so I don't really have an exact moment, but I'll say just practices to me. To me, that's my highlight. Practices, going out there, doing the right stuff, getting prepared for a game, just going out there practicing with the guys. That's pretty much it.
Gotcha. And I mean, obviously, building relationship with your teammates. A lot of great players there at Peru State. So let's give a shout out to a couple of them, man. Who do people need to know there?
All right. So first, I would like to shout out Delonte Hood. He actually plays. He came from Peru State, and he's in the NFL right now. He plays for the Broncos. Carlos Thomas, I played defensive back with him. Armand Matthews. We pretty much played, but beside each other throughout my whole Peru State experience and collegiate level. Devin Adams, which is a defensive end, and Gerald Smith also, and Deontay Dozier, which he played on the other side of the ball, not the other side of the ball, but the other side of the field of me. Field.
Right.
It's a lot. I can go on for days, but those are the main guys. Like I said, they was seniors, and well, Devin Adams is right now as a junior, and he's going to make some. That's a big name to watch out for, Devin Adams.
Gotcha. Definitely keep that name in mind. So Craig, you also had a pro day recently. You had an opportunity to go out to Nebraska's pro day and participate there. How you feel? How you feel you did out there?
So I think I did pretty well. I pretty much ran a fast time. Everyone said I ran a fast time. I pretty much showed them I can play, kind of pretty much compete with the other guys at the D1 level, FCS, whatever level, they pretty much anything. But I think I did really well. I talked to 4 scouts there, just hoping for, get the call.
So, maybe this was your first time talking to those NFL scouts, man. I mean, how did that work for you?
Just it kind of went well, I believe, but I just, be myself, talk to them as comfortable as possible. Just be comfortable talking to them.
Okay, well, I mean, but guys are paying attention to you now. I mean, at least some guys were trying to get some more information on you. So, what do you feel? What are you thinking right now, man? When you consider yourself an NFL prospect, what's going on in your brain, man, when you hear those words?
I don't know. Stay ready. Just pretty much stay ready. I can't get too big headed. Like I said, it's just, I'm just an NFL prospect. And I feel like it doesn't stop here anyway. So, like, even if, the NFL doesn't work, I one day be a coach and a mentor to some of the children, and try to pretty much steer them in the right direction, to not go the route that I went as far as JUCO. Um, just pretty much stay in school, get the degree, you know,
All
you know,
right,
things
well,
like that.
I kind of want to see if there's anything else about this guy outside of a football player. So, I mean, Craig, when we when we take that moment and not talk football for a second, what comes to mind for you, man? What do you want to share about yourself? Any of your interests, hobbies, or something you feel people would, be interested in?
Spending time with my family time, and friends. I love the bowl. I love to bowl.
Love the bowl. Okay, so what's your best?
My best is 193. It's not, it's not too high, but I'm
It's
going to get
high.
better.
That's high enough, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten that high myself. So,
Yeah.
I'm not that great of a player. I'm about mid range, but I don't get out there too often.
Well, I'm interested
Um,
in thing. I love to play video games as well, though. I feel like me and my friends, that's our way to, cope with everything and get away from everything as well. Video games.
so since you're from Philly, man, I gotta ask this question. Where can I find the best cheesesteak?
Wow, that's a great question. Some people, like the Genos and the Pats, but I would say it's a place down South Philly my mom introduced me to. It's on Snyder Avenue. I'm not sure the name, but I wish my mom was here to tell you guys, but it's some place on Snyder Avenue that I cannot get the name of it. And Delisandro's is pretty good too on Ridge Avenue. I would say Delisandro's is one.
Okay. Well, I mean, Yeah, last time I was there, I got something from a street vendor, which was absolute garbage. So I mean, next
Ah,
time I get up that in that region, I'll check that out. So
yeah, Delisandro's. I'll say, you'll love Delisandro's.
all right, well that sounds good. Anything else about you that you want people to know? I mean, before we wrap things up.
Not too much. That was pretty much it though. Like I said, I mentioned before, I'm a team guy. Uh, I give 100% effort every time. Um, and that's pretty much it. And I like I said, to the NFL scouts, I'm willing to play, special teams, whatever you need me to play. And like I said, that was it. That'll be it.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Craig. I mean, I know you got a lot going on right now. I mean, it's a little crazy because you just got finished with your pro day and you're just kind of waiting. So, keep grinding, keep putting your best foot forward, and here's hoping that you'll get the opportunity here soon. All right.
Okay, one more shout out. A shout out to Adrenaline too, my workout facility, where it all started and where it all happened. And also, West Catholic, they just won the basketball team, just won their first state championship in their program, basketball. So shout out to them. And also my Pop Warner team, North Philadelphia Blackhawks.
Awesome. Well, again, appreciate your time. Once again, we have Craig Jones. He's defensive back out of Peru State. So check this guy out.
Thank you.